What's going on? Boys, arm yourselves. Life stuff. Last time we asked ourselves, what are we doing? And we came up with what we are here to do. Fulfilling our purposes without promise or expectation of a fix we can see or salvation from this mess. Doing what needs to be done just because it needs to be done and we are the ones to do it. And you can take our motto, no solution, no salvation, as depressing, but I'm finding it refreshing. Faith or love enough in whatever it is to do what you were made to do just because you love and believe. No other reasons. No lies. And fortunately, our motto does work on that depressing level because this feeling is not going to last forever. But it's the fact it works. The fact it is keying into something, receiving the message, both from the ether and from yourself. But that got me thinking, what needs to be done? Well, I think purpose-built, purpose-driven people serve different purposes. Even if we are all operating under the same umbrella, we are operating independently, and your purpose is not going to look like my purpose. My purpose is not going to look like another person's purpose. But how do you work out what your purpose is, assuming you have one? Well, I think the first step is understanding who you are, what you do, and why you do it. And I'm finding one helpful method of working this out is imagining yourself, your inclinations and natural talents as a class in a game or an archetype in fiction taken to its ultimate end. Beyond what you are ever going to achieve, beyond what's possible even. Get fantastical with it. Bullshitty. Cringy even. Take it as far as you can, but be honest with yourself about yourself. What would an ascended you look like outside what you want or think you want? For example, the cure to male loneliness. Big Boss, Diamond Dogs, MSF, Outer Heaven. I think Big Boss is an ascended image, a desirable one based in skill and experience, but one not everyone can achieve or should achieve. Pacing circles in a dark room and swinging a stick or practicing CQC, I have fantasized plenty about running a PMC, and together with the boys, those without nations or purposes to call their own, forcing the world to back off. And something like that could actually happen, I think. But it would take a big boss. And that is nothing like what my ascended form would actually look like. If I took myself to the ends and beyond. I tried to be careful with images for their own sake, but an ascended Skimmerlit would be this thing you have to learn about from shady people you would not be interacting with unless things about this reality weren't making sense and you felt that strange tug in your chest. And then you have to travel to this dreary, always raining, overly complicated, nasty city in which you descend into some not entirely mapped or understood catacombs, because of course the city has them. And then you need to follow complicated and of course not lining up correctly directions until you are thoroughly lost, at which point you find a small door. And what's inside that door but an impossible cavern filled with books containing everything you've ever wanted to know. Everywhere you look is a tome containing everything you've ever been interested in, tempting you. But none of them contain exactly what you need. For that, you must consult the presence you can feel but can't see. And you have, of course, already brought and prepared your offering because you know it isn't going to speak with you. And a long, bony hand comes out of the shadows, takes what you have offered, and brings it back into the shadows to inspect it. And once it's finished inspecting the offering and you and is satisfied, it presents you a series of papers wrapped in leather and burlap. It stinks, it smells like oysters. Already prepared because it knew you were coming. And then it sends you on your way, never to be seen again. And once you get home and alone in a dark room, consult your information package, your evolution into something else begins. If I could be any cartoony, fallen London ass thing taken to its extreme, I think that's what I would be. And the exercise is fun, but it's also instructive if you let that image come out of who you are, what you are. Because you'll notice, for me, that image, that Skimmerlit, is not exercising its own will. That Skimmerlit is compiling the things you need to get you out or above. And upon reflection, I think that is what my purpose is right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm not here to impose my will or to exact change, but rather to help along people who want out or want different. My job right now is to help people who want to get away from human ideology, away from human ideology. Because we do have ideology, but our ideology is helping people who want different open themselves up to receive transmissions from elsewhere and from themselves. Our purpose is helping you get to a place you can attune yourself with your purpose, not what other people tell you your purpose should be. And if people don't want what we're trying to offer, good. We need fewer men and better. The way I'm presently imagining my purpose, it is helping people disentangle themselves from whatever squids have them, gods, governments, ideologies, and helping them find their soul squid. I don't know exactly how I should put it, or could put it, but, or even what's going on really, but I view, or I feel, a bunch of different forces. My job is helping you clean off your transceiver so you can get in touch with whatever force or god you need to be in touch with. Whichever one you are born to be in touch with. Not to fix anything in any way I'm going to see or feel, not to get a reward or get out, but because that's what needs to be done. That's what I'm here to do, that's what I'm built to do. Or at least give it my best to do. I'm pretty sure we are not going to be sitting in the shade of the trees we plant. And in love and faith, I'm okay with that. Now, I'm never going to be a formless squid thing, although I can dream, but I think with a lot of work and faith, heading in order, fulfilling my purpose is feasible in my lifetime. Maybe we even reach Far Cry villain levels if we sell enough books and screenplays and get on late night television. My point in saying all this is you might have a purpose. If you do, what are you doing? What do you feel drawn toward? What do you feel capable of? Are you so attuned to your capabilities and instincts you would be seizing on them even if you knew nothing was going to come of it? Would you pull a more proactive Wally and be planting seeds on a dead world? If so, what would that, taken to an unrealistic extreme, look like? What do you notice about this unrealistic extreme? What can you learn from it? What do you notice? What about it is important? Then scale that back a little bit, back into reality. What does that improbable extreme look like? What do you notice? What's important about it? And then how can you get there? Because if you have a purpose, if you're purpose built, purpose driven, I believe those sorts of instruments can get there. Maybe you don't reach those possibilities, those improbabilities, but they are there. There is something to be done, and you can do it. Or you can at least try. The effort here, I think, is what counts. This is a long game we're stuck in. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't.